Welcome back, OSLP family.
Welcome.
You are, whoa. I don't know what that was. I just went through puberty real, like for 2 seconds. Instant puberty.
I love it.
You are listening to our Sleep Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
And this is Mel.
And that is just the wackiness that is us.
That is totally us.
Yeah.
100%.
And we're really, really excited because we have one of our followers, and she's been so supportive of our journeys and this podcast. And
yeah, she's a patron.
She's a patron of ours.
That's right.
And
how cool is that?
Personally, I mean, I love all of our members of OSLP family, but those patrons, man, they have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, because like they're literally supporting us.
We couldn't do this without them.
No, because that money is literally like what's helping with like the software, the hardware, like us like getting new equipment, because like we started from the bottom.
We had nothing.
Yeah, now we're here with half the stuff.
we're halfway there.
We're halfway there.
And the hope is that when we get to enough patrons, we can start to tour. And we can go and meet all of them in person. We can't wait because we are now both vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated.
Yeah, vaccinations. And so we can go and travel here soon.
It's so nice. I have like a week left for that window.
The 2-week window.
Yep.
Yeah.
So one more week.
Which doesn't really matter because we're around each other all the time. So
yeah, we just don't leave my house to your house. That's
really pretty much.
We do.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
So
without further ado, let's invite Devin Doctor, who is not so stealthy healthy on Instagram, to the podcast. Welcome, Devin.
Hello.
That was so quiet.
Oh no. Hello.
There we go.
There she is. You went through puberty too. So
yes,
just real quick.
I had to get there.
All right. Well, let's start off with asking where your weight journey began.
Yeah, like, and who are you exactly?
Yes.
Like,
okay.
where are you from?
Well, I'm Devin, and I feel like so I think that weight has been an issue for me most of my like teenage life. I think most women in America can relate to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess I should. I live in Pittsburgh, PA, like outside of it, with my husband and our 4-year-old, and I'm a nurse at the local hospital. And yeah, so back to my weight journey. I remember like restricting when I was like 14 or 15 because I felt like I was like very heavy, which like I was not. Like my BMI was probably like a 23, you know, and I felt like very heavy. So I had like some, I'd say like anorexic tendencies at that point. Okay. But it never got to the point where like I needed extensive therapy or anything, or, you know, assistance or help. Mostly because I started dating, actually my husband now. We like started dating when I was 16.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. And he loved food and I was like, this is awesome. And, like, and then I just kind of slowly gained weight during college, and I was constantly trying to like diet. I was constantly yo-yo dieting of like doing programs that probably work for some people, but I was not able to do them, I guess. I don't know. You know, the yo-yo dieting story.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I did that a lot. I did Weight Watchers twice. I did the restricting. I mean, something that I don't talk about a lot on the podcast, and I don't know why I don't, but I actually had bulimia when I was in high school. And so I connect with that statement because I was not like, I wasn't like sticked in, but I wasn't heavy. Yeah. And I viewed myself as heavy. And so I would do the binging and purging. And I went to therapy for it and everything, but it messes with your head.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Like I was a synchronized swimmer. So I and a lifeguard, and I also took lifeguard classes. So anyway, I was swimming like 4 or 5 hours a day and like only eating like 500 calories.
Oh,
so that's like not a good combination.
No.
And then when you stop doing that, like, of course I went to college and I didn't have access to swim and I hate running. So I'm trying to but Eat it. You start gaining weight. So I started, my friend has a very like healthy outlook on food and exercise, and I lived with her for 4 years. So I kind of maintained during that time, I think, because I just ate everything she did. But my family has a history of, medical issues, but also obesity is one of them. And I have an aunt who was over 600 pounds, and she lost, she had tried gastric, I think she had bypass or the sleeve. We were trying to figure it out the other day in like the 80s.
Whoa.
And before
so it's
there
probably
was
bypass.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think
that
sleeve is much newer. So
I think sleeve is like within the last 10 years. I think.
Yeah.
We might have to Google that.
I know, right? That's what I was trying to figure out. But she had it very, very in the 80s. So there was no education really along with it. And she ended up regaining plus. So
no.
Yeah. So she had like some complications from that. But all of my dad's side was heavy. That was just part of I really think it's genetics and, also lifestyle. But my aunt ended up having surgery again in 2000, I think it would have been 2010. And she did really well with it then.
Good.
So anyway, that was like interesting to see. I saw that growing up as a kid. And then my dad wanted to have it just a few years ago. He was struck by lightning climbing a mountain.
Whoa.
What?
He's a mountain climber, and he was like helping these kids up because he would like take groups, and a lightning bolt went through this rock, through his ankles, out his scalp. So he slowly, his spine is like degraded. It's like gotten worse, even though like at first he had to like relearn to walk, all this stuff. But as he became wheelchair bound, and he gained a lot of weight and couldn't get it off. He was doing marathons in his chair, like in his wheelchair, and was not able to lose this weight, and doing my fitness pal. So anyway, I'm a cardiac nurse, so we only see like the really bad situations that happen post-op with gastric bypasses. So like my view was very skewed of like, this is awful. And I told him I was like, Dad, I'm not coming to your funeral if you die within 3 months, because I know that you shouldn't do this. Like, that's where I was at, which is like so messed up. And I super apologized for that. But I just felt like it was like, I felt like it was really risky. So he took me with him to his doctor appointments, and they were amazing. They answered like every single one of my questions. And he was basically like, you are seeing like, first off, I don't see that often. It's not like I had lots of patients that had that happen, but my poor dad had to deal with me. But yeah, like once you met the surgeon, and I mean, I think some people meet a couple surgeons and where you have that fit, but like his doctor was incredible. When I was like, okay, this is crazy. Like you should get it. And he lost his weight so easily. He got the sleeve.
Okay.
He's like, why didn't I do this years ago? This is amazing. Like he's been able to maintain it off for a year now. And he can get like further down in his wheelchair when he does his races. And he just hit a world record for 85 miles stationary in a wheelchair, like rolling.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. He's like, he's doing awesome. And so seeing that like the last few years has been really cool. And I've been like, started thinking about it, and even my husband was like, why don't you look into that? Like your dad has been awesome, has done so awesome. So I started actually listening to like podcasts and stuff, and that's where, and like YouTube videos and hearing like people's stories, and I was like, this is so awesome, because my aunt, who was she was morbidly obese, and I kind of just thought that was like the only demographic that could like on it. And, so anyway, obviously learning that that's not the case got me here. And since I had my daughter, I had some like postpartum depression, and it just felt like every time I would try and lose weight, like I would get so depressed and like worn down, I think. I don't know. And I'd end up regaining plus. And I was just on this trajectory, and I was like, why am I gonna let myself weighed another 100 pounds, and so I made the appointment, and I actually didn't think they would say that I could like get it, which I think a lot of people have that habit.
Yeah.
And I did like every step of the way, I held my breath because like every test, I was like, this is it. This is where Dr. Now comes on the show and says like, you can have it for another year.
Yep.
Oh my God.
But
Is that a thing on that show?
Well, I mean, yeah, because
Yeah.
he'll go in and he'll be like, okay, well, you need to lose this amount. And then half the time, I mean, they're struggling, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you don't get to
Yes.
600 to 800 pounds just by like
Yeah.
doing what you're supposed to be doing.
yeah,
Right.
like I'm sure he gives them dietary advice, but that's it. And like, you know, that's hard.
Yeah,
But
he
then,
gives
like-
them like the diet and was like,
So maybe that is one of the reasons why a lot of our followers are scared because I've never watched these, by the
yeah,
way.
we need to get her to
So,
watch that.
Yeah, I never did. I'm not a
And
big
it's a different
reality.
like experience than yours. Like it's
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more extreme.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is why it's a TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you need to watch it because it shows
Is
the
it just gonna
other
make me
side.
sad?
It's
I mean,
Because
it
that's the
is.
deal. I don't watch sad things.
It is, but I feel like you need to give it a
okay.
chance.
I have to be in the right mood.
I do.
Yeah.
to, like,
Yeah.
binge it. Yeah.
There's
Yes.
seasons. Like I told Kelly, like during the wintertime, not watching anything depressing because
Yes.
I'm already there. So like
Yes.
and then summertime I'll watch like the dramas and the more like depressing.
Yeah,
stuff
so you need to
because I
watch
can
it
handle it
during the summer.
in the
So
summertime.
there's a
Yeah.
new show called The 1,000-Pound Sisters or something.
Yeah. I've heard
Yes.
And
that.
they're adorable and hilarious and fun. And I feel like you might like that better. And
Okay.
it just follows their story.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like it a lot. Like they're
Is
really-
Doctor Now on that one, or is it
I
just
can't remember.
Okay.
if he is or not.
we'll
but yeah,
get-
like,
we'll get you.
I have like a magnet of him that's like, you know, you could have lose 30 pounds this month or something like
Oh wow.
that. He says
Well-
like he's pretty rough.
Yeah. It's
But anyway,
What was
yeah.
that?
I have no idea.
That was weird.
Yeah. We had a little pop up on the screen. We're
Yeah.
like, what? Oh, but we're good.
We're good.
While we're
Um,
paused for a second though, actually.
Yeah.
I do need you to stop moving your hands. What you're hitting the table and it's coming through. And I don't want to say anything, but like it's loud.
You might
Oh my
do you have
God,
like
I'll
a
sit on my
blanket?
hands.
No, you're good. Do you have
You
like
want
a
a
blanket
blanket?
or a towel?
Oh my God, you guys.
I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
good.
I
Let me
didn't
sit on
want
my
to scare you from No, you don't just
No,
it's
no,
just-
I'm good.
when you it's just like when you're moving, like it's catching, and I don't know if it's because you're earbutted in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is pull that more so you have more room. It looks like it's tight on you.
We're gonna
It
get
is
you
tight.
all situated.
My
Because if you
situation's a little tight.
yeah, if you can get
Here.
a little like more comfier, because that way when you move, it's pulling and I can
restricted.
hear it pull. Yeah. You see hear that? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I wonder if maybe you should just take the earbuds out and just use the computer.
I don't know. Well, she has that mic, but that's the thing is I don't know how her mic works. Is it picking up that too?
I think so.
Hold on.
Here,
Can
try
you
it.
hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
Is
you
it
hear
better?
us?
Is it worse?
I feel like that's way better.
Can you hear us though?
Yeah.
Then yeah, let's do
I
that.
can
Yeah.
talk.
Cause then you're like,
You
you
test
can
it.
move.
you don't
I'm
have,
sorry.
yeah.
I don't
No,
realize
like,
how
we want you
ridiculous
to
of
be
this-
comfortable.
Mhm.
So
That's
if-
much more comfortable.
okay. All right.
I'm so
I
sorry.
think
jump
no,
in
I think
that?
that's better. I think
Okay.
that's actually better.
Are you sure?
So,
Or I can turn
Yeah.
it up or down.
I mean,
too.
you're in a room by yourself, so I feel like mainly we say the plugged in just because if some people have other people in the room,
Yeah.
and I think
Evelyn
this
is
is actually
asleep
better.
and my dogs are in the basement. So
Oh yeah, so I think we're good.
Yeah, then I think we're fine. Yeah.
I have a vent like over there that you can kind of hear.
No, you're good.
I don't hear the vent. It's when you set something down, I hear an echo. It's like this boom.
Yeah, because it happens to us too. We have like
We do the same thing.
yeah, we have little
Bracelet
like
on.
posters.
Yeah, we put little coasters and we're always like, you ever see us go really slow?
That's why.
That's
yeah.
Okay, I'm getting a coaster.
There you go. All right.
That's easy to cut. So I just wanted to make sure we could just
Yeah, no,
Very good.
Yeah, we want to make sure that like you're comfortable, we're comfortable, audio's good.
Oh yeah.
That's-
You
yeah.
tell me.
No, this is actually way better.
way, way better.
Okay.
Way better. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now we're gonna jump back in.
Mhm.
And first off, I want to so your dad is in a wheelchair, like while he like even now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And when did that happen at your age?
So he was struck by lightning in I think it was 83. So I wasn't born yet. So thank God he lived.
Yeah.
And he was like my mom was pregnant, so she wanted to murder him when he like went on this trip. And this happened, and she ended up, they're both he got life flighted back to Pittsburgh after he was stabilized in North Carolina. And he was in one Pittsburgh hospital. My mom was in the other, like about to pop out my sister.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was crazy. So he like was in rehab extensively the first year, and he had to completely learn how to walk again. And like he had burns over, most of his body. So that was like a big part of the recovery process too. But so when I was growing up, at first he didn't have any assistance of anything. And then once I got into like elementary, he started using a cane, and then he started using 2 canes because he was very stubborn and didn't, that's a big leap to like a walker. He only used a walker for like a minute. In my wedding, we had it at a beach. He had 2 ski poles that he used to like come down. And
oh wow! But he walked you down the aisle.
Yeah. Cool. Well, actually, he was our our
your officiant.
It's called. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother walked me down, but he was able to get down there with no issue.
Then,
and within that then while I was in college, he went from 2 canes to a wheelchair full time, which he was very nervous about, because you feel like that's a part of your life, that walking. And he actually loved it because he was like, now I can go fast. Like he was always a runner and mountain climber. So he started getting into like 5Ks, and like we would do the 5Ks with him. But then when I was like, bye.
You're like, no, I'm not.
That's a whole different person that can handle a marathon.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. It takes a very special person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Kudos to him.
Wow.
So you've always seen your dad like either trouble with walking or going into a wheelchair and all that.
And
your whole life.
He always struggled with his weight. Like my whole childhood, I'd see him. He yo-yoed, but like as a man, I think that the weight stayed. It seems like for him, at least, I should say, his weight stayed off longer, and then he would slowly gain it back over like 2 years, and then he'd like eat 2 apples for lunch every day for like months and lose all his weight.
And then a bunch of freaking weight. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So you saw the yo-yoing from your dad, which I think is kind of an interesting perspective, because I think a lot of kids, or, especially women, see it from their mom.
Right.
Yes, exactly. I know.
So how is it with your mom? Is she?
So my mom has type 1 diabetes since she was 12 or 13. So like, and she was diagnosed in like the late 60s. So she just couldn't eat. Like, it wasn't like you could just have a shot of insulin after you had like a cookie. Like I know some type 1 diabetics are able to do now. So since that's like how she became a diabetic, she's always been like super regimented about knowing, she's so in tune with her body. She knows that if she has that, it's going to be bad for her. So she's never, like, she had gained like, maybe 20 pounds slowly, like normal, normal over time. And then she was able to decrease carbs and stuff like that. And get down to a weight that she was happier with.
So you saw the really healthy side, like, and very like stable from your mom.
Yeah.
And then you saw a lot of the yo-yo dieting from your dad.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I don't like, I think it was also like, my mom always talked to us about like our weight, like in a way, like, because we did have, family members with issues with their weight that affected them daily. So she would talk to us about it, but it's just like, I think just the societal, pressure too, that like, because I don't remember ever feeling like I was thin, and I, like I was 130 pounds lighter than I am now, like, so I think that's kind of been, since I became a mom, I really wanted, and a daughter, I really wanted to have a healthy relationship with food. And that has been kind of my struggle the last 4 years, was like, I want to lose this weight in a very healthy way that isn't restrictive, that isn't going to make me want to binge, that is something I would want my daughter to do. And I think that I put too much pressure on myself with that, especially because she was like a newborn.
Like, she doesn't have no idea.
Yeah. And Sam was like, Dev, if you restrict a little unhealthy right now, like, she's not gonna internalize that yet. No. But I think it's just trying to find that like journey of like not being controlled by food. And I felt very controlled by food. And then finally, when I was like, what I've been doing the last few years has not been healthy or moderation to lose weight. I've been gaining weight. That's kind of when I also was like, I need to look into this and get this under control. Which is something that this has been, like, you guys talk about how you have so much more headspace.
Yeah.
Think about food all the time.
Definitely.
What I was just going to mention was that I've read the fact that because women are the normal people that have to like make the meals. So we're always the meal preppers, and that it's a problem because like for us, the food is always on our mind, because we're always like, okay, I have to do this prep for these people, these kids, whatever, because we're always trying to like nurture everything. And so like it is hard because we're always thinking about it. So how do we like control that where it's healthy? Because like you're the one doing all the stuff when it comes to that. Like men don't, not all, I mean, I know that there is some out there that they have the same problem. They're thinking about food all the time, but like that's part of our jobs, like for most people. So it's really hard to think about it, because like my husband can be all day and then realize, oh, I need to eat. And that's not at all how it is for us three.
No,
like, and everyone listening, it's like, we wake up thinking about food. We go to bed, we're thinking about food.
You're like, eating and you're thinking about your next meal. At least I was.
100%. I'm right there with you. Yep. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's lunch. What am I going to have for dinner?
Yep.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm like, I'm literally like, the fork is in my mouth and I'm like, what am I doing for dinner?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, as a single person, I think about food all the time, because it's hard as a woman to be alone, and you're like, okay, well, how am I going to fit food into this? Because I'm by myself. So am I going to cook this? Am I going to eat it for the next week? Am I going to, eat out? Because sometimes it's just easier than trying to cook for one. I mean, so that's,
we're always thinking.
Yeah. I'm wondering like if it's like just society.
I think so. I think it's how it's
like is the woman's role.
Well, and it's odd because my husband does most of our cooking, but he doesn't think about it until right as he wants to cook.
That's how my husband is.
Yeah. Like 100% will do all the cooking. Great cook, loves it. But then he's like, oh, we needed all this stuff. And I'm like, like that's why when I asked you last night, and I'm still like, I'm not cooking at all. Because no one wants me to, but like I'm still thinking of what we would need and what he could be wanting to make tomorrow at 5 p.m. with his impulse. Like,
you're the prepper. Yeah, that's part of like the whole taking care of everyone situation.
Interesting.
Because like, how old's your daughter now?
4. She's 4.5.
She's 4.5.
And it was easier when she was a baby because bottles like
they drink formula. They really do much,
and they can't really tell what you're eating.
No.
And that's the big deal. Because what do you do now? Are you like prepping food with her? Like, what are you trying to do to like not have a
change that view?
So that's what has also been like kind of, I think, mentally exhausting is I have no other nicer way to put it, but she has autism and she was diagnosed at 2.5, or actually right before 2. And she ate so healthy before that. Like she was obsessed with avocado and grilled chicken, and her little like fat fingers would just eat it up. And now it's so hard to get her to eat. Like she would see a sandwich or she'd smell a food and she would vomit like on sight. Like it was really bad. So she's gotten so much better. Like she doesn't gag anymore. But she really, we're trying to like broaden her spectrum of food that she'll eat. But she's
what does she typically eat? Okay.
French fries, peanut butter toast, and Cheez-Its, and like milk. I think that's like it. Oh, and any type of candy or cookie, but
of course.
I relate so much with her because
I mean,
that's
smart.
how my diet.
That's what,
I
like,
wish that my diet was like that.
She'll hold out. Because we would like, I was like, I'm not gonna feed her the fries. Like, I'm not. She,
Yeah.
and she would just not eat. She just won't eat for a day and a half. Like, I've never gone that long,
what she
but
wants.
by the next morning, I'm like, all right.
I mean,
here's your fries.
Yeah.
You can, I'll say it. You can be that rude mom. Like, I know that she's like on the spectrum and like has these issues, but like they've literally said they will eventually eat.
And
just
that's
put it out. Just keep, and you have to do it sometimes for a couple days.
Yeah.
And
I
they
think
will
that's,
eventually
we haven't done it long enough. Cause that's, she has like, she had what I would call like an addiction to sour candy. And they said it was like the stimming of the chewing, like that sensory input, and the sour, like intense flavor. And she had a cavity. So we were like, no, we're just completely, and she's done fine. She's done totally. So
you're like, they'll adjust.
Yeah, they adjust. It doesn't exist anymore. Like they don't need to know any of those things.
And right now, luckily I'm at a spot where like she's not comprehending what I'm going through for the food. So that's not really an issue right now, and I've kind of let go of that. So like I can be at a point where, I can eat more normally. But because right now I feel like I'm cooking for myself, like because my husband, I'm not expecting him to cook like something that I can have a fourth cup of,
Yeah.
So
that's nice of you.
Yeah.
So we should probably explain. So like, when was your surgery date? Like, so how far are you in your journey?
March 2nd. So I'm 10 weeks tomorrow.
Wow.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. What, I mean, it's not about the weight loss, but how much have you lost in the 10 weeks?
52.8 pounds.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy.
I know.
So that's like 5 pounds a week.
Yeah,
I know.
You should be so freaking proud of yourself. That's insane.
It's really cool.
She has real chills.
I have goosebumps because that's so amazing.
It's crazy. Like I feel so much better. Like the first week was rough.
Always is.
Yeah. Like you just had surgery. So my urethra just stopped working at the hospital. Like
what?
So I had bypass. First off, I don't know if I said that. So I had bypass because I got ahead of myself.
It's okay. We always do. Yeah. It's good.
So I decided to get bypass because I had severe GERD. So they were like, you're not going to want to. And I've been glad because I have had some heartburn, and I've heard that that's kind of rare after gastric bypass.
It is.
We heard too.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, phew, I made the right choice.
And for those that don't know, can you explain to them what GERD is?
Yes.
And what did you feel?
Yeah. So with GERD, I can't remember the technical term, but it's heartburn. And it's pretty much, it depends on the person, but mine was pretty much constantly when I'd have it really bad. And very, very, very bad at night. And so you can take like Protonics or something like that. And usually I would take like a 14-day course of that and I'd be good for a couple months. I was pretty lucky that way. But if I didn't, I would be miserable, and any food I had seemed to like flare it up more. But when you have the sleeve, it can kind of like, they said like it's almost like a funnel of like acid, and it just kind of pours back up. Which if you're already having too much acid coming up, then you don't want that combination.
And that's a lot of the times why they do the scope is to check to make sure that you don't have any like big ulcers, or to check like that area to make sure that the sleeve is going to be good.
Yeah, I didn't have to do that.
That's so weird to me that you didn't have to.
Yeah, I think it's because I've never had heartburn.
I mean, I had GERD.
Yeah. See, that's documented. Like mine, like I only had it when I was pregnant. So
a while ago.
Yeah, which is like
15 years.
You have like
Dylan's
a
15.
mass in your belly forcing
to force it. So like after that, I was like, I didn't even know what it was. I remember one time my chest was hurting and I was like, babe, it's like, it hurts right here. And he's like, yeah, that's heartburn. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. This is painful. And he was like, that's what I get all the time. And I was like, oh, yeah. Sorry, dude.
I would get sharp pains right here to where I was like doubling over in pain and it would be hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow. There was a couple times where Satan, my ex, had to take me to I know. I love it. He's actually in my phone as not today, Satan.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. I'm gonna actually, when we get divorced, I'm gonna actually have it on a shirt that says "Not today, Satan." I love it. He doesn't know that I call him Satan, so it's pretty funny to me.
But and he listens to this episode.
Yeah. Hey, Satan.
What up?
So yeah, it was. There was
Satan took care of you that day.
Yes. Satan took care of me that day. Yeah. You know what's funny is I was actually at the store with D, Mel's son. And we're getting checked out and he's bagging up all the food and he had asked me something and I was like, oh yeah, when Satan and I did that I said Satan and the D looks over and he's like, the register lady just was like, what? And I was like, oh, Satan is my ex, not actually Satan. I mean, I've never seen them in the same room together, so we're not 100% positive that he's not real Satan.
True. How you don't have evidence?
I don't have any concrete proof that he's not really Satan. But, anyways, yeah, it was just kind of funny because she was just like, "What?" Oh my God. I'm like, well, I just like the name for him because it's a good name very well.
So when Satan was helping,
anyway, so when Satan had to, there was a couple times where he was like on the phone with my doctor and like I was on the phone with the hospital because we were trying to figure out what was going on because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And then we figured out it's GERD.
Yeah.
And I got put on daily like Prilosec essentially. And I've never had an issue since.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's the weirdest thing, but I was like, okay, and my surgeon said, as long as it's controlled with that and you're not like, it's not escalating or anything, you're fine with doing the sleep. So I was like, okay,
that's good. And I've heard of some people having like, there's the doctors put stitching. We could ask Dr. Dovek this.
That's a good,
But they do like they do like they support the esophagus when they're in there, and people say that it helps reduce. They don't have GERD after, and with
interesting.
So that wasn't an option with my doctor, and I was fine getting bypass.
Totally fine with that. Yeah.
So
you weren't nervous about the bypass at all? Or
I was a little, at first I was like, I'm not doing this. Like I wanted to sleep. I am not, like this seems intense. But the more research I did, like I felt very comfortable with it. They're both, there's so much research for both of them to know good outcomes. So I felt comfortable with that. And it is reversible. I don't really know why someone would want to get it reversed.
Right?
Like from even a medical standpoint, I'm like, I mean, unless you had some complications, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've never heard of anyone either from like everything I looked at. But
this might all be a question for Dr. D. Because I'm kind of interested in number one, like why would you reverse it?
Yeah.
And number two, that stitching thing.
Tell us, Dr. Dovek, because I might have even made it up. So no,
I might even made it up.
Not completely.
Not completely. We talk with her next week. So
perfect. Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I love those episodes.
We love Dr. D. She's so down to earth, and I mean, we're all over the place on this episode. That's fine. We're just gonna talk about Dr. D now.
This is an episode of Dr. D appreciation episode.
There we go. Oh my gosh.
But
are ridiculous.
I don't even know what I was. Okay, so I had my surgery March 2nd.
Bypass. Yeah,
March 2nd.
This is what I thought was crazy. I go in, first off, you have to wait 2 hours in the waiting room, and I wanted to die because I was like, just take my stomach out. Like, look, just knock me out. So I get back there, I'm like a little antsy, nervous, and then I get like real weird. And I was like, I'm fucking Miss Maisel. Like these nurses thought I was hilarious. But they they swabbed me for COVID right then. So
Okay.
then it's like 15 minutes of like wanting to vomit because you're sure that you have COVID, and they're going to say, you're in your gown in this bed and you can't have your surgery.
Yeah, that would be the one.
Yeah.
That would be so nerve wracking.
I know a lot of places do it like 2 days before, which makes a lot more sense to me. So anyway, I was negative. So I had my surgery and I got out, and it was very painful. And they were like pumping me full of drugs, and I don't remember that first day at all. And then
really?
like at all.
Okay.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, if you're in that much pain.
I would wake up and it was like 10 out of 10, like pain. And it was really bad. Like I expected it to not be like that. I hate to even say this because I don't want to scare anybody. Like
no, but I mean, it's a reality that
yeah. So it was, and they were like, yeah, this is really common. Like, and I was like, okay.
So where was the pain coming from? To settle maybe some people's fears of like, where was it and how did it feel?
I don't think it'll settle anybody's. It felt like someone ripped out my organ, which they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so maybe I'm like, and I was like, maybe I'm just like a wimp about pain. You know, I had an epidural and that was awesome. Like, yeah, like, I was like not doing that. But after the first night, like that intense pain was gone, but I still did keep on like they kept me on the oxycodone because I was in so much pain when I would sit up, and I wouldn't want to sit up as much. And like I would do it because I knew that I needed to walk. But once they got me on like a schedule with it, I was walking every half hour.
Okay, that was my next question is like, when did you start walking?
How long did that take? Yeah,
it was the next morning. Like I was in a lot of pain when I hadn't had pain meds in, you know, like 8 hours or whatever. And then they were like, let's just keep you on the schedule for like the next day and a half and, you know, see where you go from there. And they pulled the Foley out of me at, like that evening, and I could not pee at all. And so that was a part of my pain, but I totally forgot about, because my bladder had 1,000 cc's in it, just like a ton.
Yeah, that's more than what it's supposed to be able to hold.
Yeah,
I believe.
and I could not get it out. I couldn't get it to go. And so it was pushing up on all of my organs.
Yeah,
so that was causing more pain.
Dang.
Yeah. And it took like, and I just saw someone on Instagram, I can't remember who was like, I'm stuck in the hospital another day because I can't pee. And I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that either. Why?
It's just the anesthesia is what they told me. Like, and I think I'm just very sensitive to anesthesia. Like any other time, I've been like real weepy and like for like days.
Oh wow, it really does affect you. Yeah. How did you get to pee?
Yeah,
like
so. Every nurse was telling me their like methods. The one guy was like, stick your finger in your belly button and like then you'll pee, and like that didn't work for me.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm gonna try that.
I did. I tried everything because the first night, the extra night was fine. So it was 2 nights. Okay. And then it was the third night that I had to stay because I couldn't pee, and that was it. Everything else was fine. And the fourth day they told me they were gonna put a Foley back in me and send me home with it for a week. And I was like, I cannot have a toddler and a Foley and recover.
No, that's insane.
So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I figured out that if I walked and came in and sat on the toilet and talked, because it like my husband was talking on the phone and I like
hold on.
Go.
Is that us?
Yeah, it's us. Hold on. The internet is being funky.
Okay. The same. Sometimes mine is.
Oh, it popped up and said it was unstable.
I know.
We've never had that before.
But I have bars.
Are you priority?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
All right,
we're going.
So let's go back just a little bit.
Right where it cut. It was you were telling us
the Foley. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, sorry. It's a Foley catheter. The catheter.
Okay. I figured it was a nurse term.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
I
was like, okay, I just want to be on the same page. Okay, so they were saying that you would have to put a catheter back in.
Yes, and like have a little leg bag to go home for a week and then follow up with a urologist, which was very determined not to have that happen. And so they scan your belly with like at your bedside. It's super easy. It's just a little gel, and that's how they know how much is in there. And I had like over 1,000. So because once it's over that, it doesn't track.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that happened twice. And then I basically I would start walking and I would talk to myself in pain every 30 minutes for like hours. And they would come in and do it like every couple hours. And as long as it was under 200, I was going to be allowed to go. So just like, I literally just kept getting 50 cc's out like every half hour. And
how did you do that? You just kind of just sat there and just try to get a little bit out as much.
And just walk and sit and
focus
pee, and walk and sit and pee. It
Oh,
was
wow.
so ridiculous. But I got it under, it was like 175. And they're like, you can go home today without a Foley. And I was
like, yeah.
And
oh my God, that would be a lot of pressure.
And they said like, they were like, if you feel extreme pressure, if you, sorry.
No, I'm just like,
pressure.
If you get pressure, you need to like call the doctor if it gets too extreme, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of tried to keep up with it the next day. And obviously you should be walking after surgery. So kind of was like extra motivator to like walk.
Yeah. Did you have any gas pains?
I had very, very mild,
Okay.
And I think because I was walking so much. Mine was more like deep incisional pain.
Okay.
Which did subside after the first few days. And
probably because you peed and that wasn't pressure.
Yeah, that bladder was massive. It was like angry.
Yeah, I know. So next time when I get anesthesia, I will tell them that this is expected for me.
So was it kind of like your urethra was like numb, or you
they said like those muscles are just like so I have it happen a lot with older patients, like a lot with men with like, they already have a prostate problem and we had the Foley in them for surgery and we take it out and those muscles are weakened. And then you have the anesthesia on top of it because those muscles didn't have to work for so many hours, you know?
Wow.
Some people have the opposite and like pee a little, you know, like have some like incontinence because of it. But yeah, I did not expect to have it because I'm 29 and, you know, didn't think that'd be a problem. So it took me by surprise. But as far as complications go, it was a good complication. Like it does resolve.
One of the lesser end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll take it.
It wasn't even like a complication in my mind. It was just, you know, annoying because I was stuck there. But
that's what I was gonna say. Like just an annoying.
Yeah, it's just like a big inconvenience. Normally you're only there for what a bypass is supposed to be 24 hours. Yeah. So you were there for 4 days.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a long time.
Oh my gosh. But it probably was also a blessing because I do have a 4-year-old at home that like, even though my husband was like really good at being with her, she was still like, why is mommy not helping me?
Yeah, there's still a lot. I mean, 4-year-olds are, my nieces are 5 and 4 and like, I had them last Friday and I was like, okay, girls, we're going to have a serious conversation. You're going to go watch Bluey while I put on makeup and do my hair. And then we will go to Build-A-Bear. We had like, and they were like already halfway out the door. Like, cause I was in the bedroom, they were like jumping on my bed and like running around. And
you mean being 4 and 5?
Yeah. But like
being 4 and 5.
Kit, my dog, like my younger one, if they scream and run, then he chases them and then knocks them down and licks them. So it was like bouncing back and forth with 2 toddlers and 2 dogs. Yeah. And I was like, okay, girls, stand in front of me, focus. And then I'm like, I need to do this. Go watch Bluey. And they're like halfway out the door. I'm like, no, come back. No running around. Yeah, no.
Lock the eyes.
So no, I get it.
Can you imagine having bypass?
Nope.
And then trying to deal with that bullshit?
Nope. So I give you props for that is what I'm trying to say.
It was the second week that was hardest because you have like the 10-pound weight restriction and she's 42 pounds and like I don't have to like lift her most of the time, but there's certain times where you don't think about it and you put a lot of her weight onto yours. And I was like, oh, but
I think we actually talked about To One Hungry Mother from Instagram. She actually said the same thing. And I never even thought about the fact that like, if you have a toddler or cause I think her son is 2.
Yeah. That would be so hard.
You can't lift for like 6 weeks. Right.
Yeah.
So that's a long time to not be able to pick up your kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That'd
that was
really weird.
And she still like sits in her high chair to eat. And so luckily, like the weeks before, I was like prepping her and like to get into her car seat because I have to lift her little butt into it,
Oh, yeah.
And so I like taught her how to we worked on that, and so that was okay. But there's still time, so
Yeah.
I
That's
had
really
more.
smart to prep.
I was gonna say, like, that's actually a good segue to like, how did you prep the family beforehand?
Well,
like, what did you have to do?
So she has a lot of therapy and stuff like that, but luckily both our moms are very involved. So and they were so supportive of me having the surgery. Like my mother-in-law has a lap band, actually. Forgot about that too.
Wow.
And she has been super successful with it. Like she's kept her weight off for I think 5 or 6 years, maybe more.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she loves it. But so she was like so excited for me, and my mom was too. And so they just like really stepped up and like they kept Evelyn many of those days that I was in the hospital because he was working shifts.
Yeah.
But it was hard to prepare her because she's like, her communication is her hardest part. So she probably has like the verbal skill of a 2-year-old. So it's like she might understand more than that. We can't really tell.
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she definitely knew I wasn't there, and she was like really annoyed with me when I got home. She was like,
where were you? Lady? Why did you leave
come
me?
on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you have a very like weight loss surgery conscious family.
I do.
So your mother-in-law has the lap band, your dad got the sleeve, and your aunt had the bypass. Wow.
That's impressive because normally it's like you're the first.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, did you feel more supported?
I felt really supported. I still felt like there was some, like there's still, I think there is the bias, which is like what your podcast is about.
No big deal.
It's like the starting sentence of every podcast. Or ending. Anyway, I don't know if I was internalizing that more. I was really nervous to tell like my sister and my best friend that I tell every single thing, just like, and like, I think my sister was like, why were you afraid to tell me? And I was like, I just felt like my friend and I were talking about our weight and how being heavy sometimes feels like, and once you admit that you're heavy and that you don't want to be heavy, it's like a failure, like somehow, like at a personal deep level. So it's like telling people I was getting it felt like I was saying I was a failure somehow.
I know how that goes, girlfriend. Yep.
So like a big deal to like talk to people about it. Or like that first, just saying it. And then once you say it, like they can ask you questions and you can explain. But and also like I don't owe an explanation to everybody about it, but I feel like I do,
Yeah, because that was like my biggest deal. It was like waiting for the face to change of like, okay, if I tell you what's the face that I'm gonna get is what I was very scared of, because the people that were supportive, like kind of surprised me. And the people that weren't supportive really surprised me. So I was like, I didn't think that that's the face I would get. So it was like, I just stopped telling people because I was just like, I have no idea anymore. Like the people that I thought would be there are not there. And the people that are there are the people I didn't even think that would be around. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating. And then you are afraid of the judgment from your family. Because I could see how like you have family members gone through it, but then in your head, you're like, oh man, like now I have to do it too. Like, this is just a thing I guess we all do. Like, I don't know. Like that's what I would have felt a little bit like.
And I think growing up, like I never thought, you never see that, you don't know what you're going to do, but it's just something I didn't expect myself to do until 2 years ago. So I think, there was that. And, but once I told people, I've actually had like extremely positive, I really haven't had, I'm still in the beginning, I could still have that, but, I was worried about work because I have like a very small community, like I think there's 12 women. And so like, there's no way of hiding that like, you're eating nothing all of a sudden when you were eating a lot before. So, like,
and you're nurses. So like, you'd be like, girl, I know what you did.
Yeah. What's
exactly.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah. So it was like, but they were all super cool about it too, or like they just don't talk about it, which is fine. Like that's great. but and like it was during COVID, so all my friends that were like my best friends that I haven't seen for months and months and months, I felt like I needed to tell them, because it's like you're having major surgery and like your like 5 best friends should probably know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also like we haven't seen each other in forever. So I just texted them it, and it was so awkward because I was like, oh my God.
You're like waiting for the backlash of it. But it was all positive.
Nice. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They were all just
right.
like, you know, that's great if that's what you want to do. And
good.
Yeah.
Good.
So anyway, yeah. So, and everyone who had it was extremely excited.
Well, yeah, because it's like you're adding another like
I'm sure you were so
club.
excited when Kelly wanted to do it. Like,
oh yeah, because I wanted her to do it beforehand, and I was like, when she finally does, like, oh sweet,
yeah,
he's someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I remember like, because you and both Melanie were kind of like, I don't know if I want to tell you. And I was the polar opposite. I still talk to like the person at the little mini market about it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
awesome.
I had weight loss surgery 2 years ago. Like, or the like, whatever guy comes to your door to sell you something. I'm like, oh yeah, I had weight loss surgery. I just don't care. Like, I'm just like, whatever. I'll tell anybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell that dog. I'm going to tell that cat. I'm going to tell that person in the airplane. I don't care. I really don't. But it was funny because I knew how closed off Mel was from telling people. And so when she came up with this podcast idea, I'm like, Mel, so people are going to like, you're going to have to talk about it, right?
A lot of people.
Like, this is going to be a lot of people that know what you're doing. And she was like, I've already prepared myself for it. Yes, I'm good. And I was like, all right, I just want you to be like, people are going to know now. Like,
well, because it was never about people knowing. It's about the fact of like, no one asked. I only talk to people that want to know stuff about me.
Yeah.
And that's been my whole theme. Like, you've noticed it more and more that you've been around me. I don't talk to people about myself. Like Kelly last time, did you tell Eric this? Did you do this? Nope, haven't told him shit. And she's like, why? And I was like, I don't know. I just don't talk about myself to people. Like, I kind of like, I'm a listener. I like to listen to everybody's stories, and I'll just chime in randomly. But I will tell you whatever you want to know about me if you ask. That's the deal. Like, I'm an open book, but you have to like ask the question. I don't indulge. I don't overindulge anything. And I think, I think I learned that when I was like probably my first like job. I got burned so many times by like other women that just was like, nope. I'm not telling anybody shit. Because you guys are gonna go run your mouth and I'm in trouble. Like, that's true. Stupid, like the rumors. So, because our group wasn't like that.
Nope.
Like, we were very like straightforward, but like when I went into the workforce, like catty women, and it was nuts, and I've never seen it before.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
It does.
Through the loop, because I'm used to our friend group where you just
you could say anything you wanted, and it was stayed with that person.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't like a continuing.
I'm gonna go tell her and her.
Yeah, I never had that, so I always would trusted whoever I talked to, and then I would get burned. So now I'll just tell you stuff when you ask me.
Which is why we pair very well, because I'm a talker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys would have never guessed.
Never guessed
in a million years that I'm a talker. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But I am. And Mel's more the listener, obviously. And so it pairs really well together.
Yeah.
Because I will talk. I will talk to no one.
You will talk to cats and dogs. So
I literally do talk to my dogs. Like, they're human children. Like, I'm like, Coda John, you knock it off right now. You have 3 options. You can go lay in the bedroom, go outside, or drink your water. But I'm done with this. Like, I literally have a conversation with him, and Mel laughs every single time.
That's so my best friend is like more like Mel. And she's like, why do you just I can't believe you just openly tell these stories that are so embarrassing. She's like, no one has to ask. You should tell them. She's like, I love it, but I don't get it. Talk way too much. I'm always like, oh, TMI. Like 2 days later, I'll be like, that was TMI.
That was TMI. I hate it when you have like a conversation with somebody and like, or you're fighting with somebody and then you think of a good comeback like 3 days later and you're always like, God damn it, why didn't I just say that?
That's my mom. You would go and tell her and she'd like say the perfect line and you're like, why weren't you there?
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's her. She'll say something and I'm like, oh, I should have said that.
Zingers.
That would have been good.
Got it for you.
So now you're 10 weeks post-op.
Yes.
So how's your daily, what's your daily routine like?
Yeah. What does it look like
post-op?
So I am definitely still working on it.
It's a work in progress.
I actually love your challenges which I have not done this month at all because I've been total weird. But I know. But
it's okay.
I'll get there. Anyway.
Start again tomorrow.
Yes. What actually I was going to say is you said something about it. I think in one of your recent podcasts about how like you, instead of doing like all 5 days, just like start with today's. And like
just start with today's.
I have a very much of an all or nothing mindset, which is where I, how I got where I am. So, like if I'm not running, then why would I walk? Is how I've been. So,
right.
So I got a treadmill and I've been walking.
Yay!
Yeah. And I can definitely, you can feel that it's good. Like, I'm like, why didn't I ever think this was okay to like just walk?
Right.
Yeah.
So I've been doing, I'm trying to get my protein in. I'm still really struggling with that unless I have 2 shakes. And so I have like the breakfast. I've been doing Avi and Fairlife, which isn't as much protein, but it's so good.
It's
and it's collagen. So, I'm like, this is exciting.
Yes.
And then I at work will try and have like a little something for breakfast, but I just started being able to tolerate eggs again. So that's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And then I just work on my water. And I got the pinks, the Avi pinks too.
What do you think?
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. Which flavor?
Pink lemonade.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of like reviews that were like, mix it with like a diet juice. No, I love it. Like straight. It's great. Yeah. So that has been helping with my water intake because I've been like kind of, I do good with water, but I've been kind of like wanting a change. So that has been fun.
It's kind of nice sometimes to get that extra flavor.
I was gonna say, like, you get more flavor, and then depending how many you drink in a day, like, because if you drink 3 of them, which is a lot,
that is a lot.
If you drink 3 of them, that's when you get the Foley day of the veggies and fruit. We found out it's 3 days.
It's three times.
Three times. That's what.
Yes.
I remembered him saying that to you guys, and I was looking at the thing and I was trying to figure it out. So I'm glad that he said it on there because, I get
we
2.
were confused.
I get 2 a day. And because I don't, and that's why I got it, because I do not have any veggies right now or fruit. And I'm always, even when I was eating like probably 3,000 calories a day, I had a ton of veggies, like I've always really liked that. So I'm like really missing salad, but I'm also terrified.
Yeah.
Like they said I can try it, but I'm like, ugh. So anyway, I'm excited about the pinks because of that.
Good.
But then for lunch, I've just been having like some soup or some like leftover whatever kind of meat. And I've mostly just been doing like a 1/4 of a cup of protein for each sitting. But I started doing like cheese and salami roll-ups.
Oh yeah, those are so good. So good. So quick tip, if you're craving a salad, make a salad out of pure protein. So
an antipasta salad kind of.
Yeah. So I usually like before, because I tried salad and it did not sit well with me. Like it upset my stomach so bad. So I would just make a salad just minus the lettuce.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea.
So do like we'll do cubed up ham, cheese. You can do a couple veggies in there. I like to do, so I don't know if you saw it, but my avocado ranch recipe.
No.
It's in our IGTVs.
It's delicious.
It's so good. She's gonna write it down. Right. It's so easy and it makes a ton. And you can I do the chicken thighs cut up. You can do the chicken thighs, cheese, and then you can also do what am I thinking? You can cut up salami and like cubed up cheese if you wanted. Yeah, and then just do the avocado ranch over the top.
I think it's probably I'm just missing dressing because I love dressing.
Probably. Yeah. I'm a dressing fan.
That's
like
so
we
good.
both love sauces.
And we don't count our sauces.
No, we do not.
So
We don't.
I've taken that from you, and I because you aren't having much at all.
No, there's just no way. Even to this day, like
Mhm.
I'll look at it and be like, oh no, that's fine. Stop it, Melanie. Because I'm like, it's not enough. It's just not enough to like hurt me.
Even if I have like 2 of the Chick-fil-A sauces, I'm still like, I don't care. I really just don't care.
Because at the end of the day, you're still hitting all your numbers. So it's like, why?
Yeah. I mean,
like 80 calories at the end of the day is not going to break you when it got you to eat all of that protein and
all of that yummy Chick-fil-A sauce and chicken. And oh my God, we have a Chick-fil-A coming here.
She's so excited.
The walls went up. Yeah. The walls went up and I'm like, come on, Chick-fil-A. Because I'm going to need a Chick-fil-A
in my hometown
budget.
Made a fake Chick-fil-A coming to Butler, like Facebook, like a real, it looked legit. They had a map and like the outline derby. It was fake.
Those bastards.
Like newspaper like reported on it because everyone was so upset.
They're like, stop telling these people this is coming.
I would find whoever made that Facebook page and take them down. Like
so
that
you
is
have
just
walls,
cruel.
so you're safe now.
Yeah. That's just cruel. Like Chick-fil-A is life. Sorry, but it is. And that chicken.
Well, and it's so good, and it has like awesome protein. Like we went through it.
Yeah, it's low calorie, awesome protein, low carb. Like
the grilled nuggets. Like everyone should have those. It's just great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
and you can do a salad with those. Just FYI. So if you get the Chick-fil-A chicken, you just chop it up and then add your sauce and everything, and then shake it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you turn
that's
anything
great.
into a salad.
Because I've been like kind of stagnant. I've been feeling like a little bit in a food wreck because I got like kind of got burned by a couple foods and then I got nervous. And they were like, just give it 2 weeks and try it again. Like, but it was like a month later and I was like, oh, I still hadn't tried an egg in like a month and a week. And I was like, it's time.
Yeah. Eggs are such good protein.
They are.
And I didn't want to not like them because I do like eggs like before surgery. But I had like one that it made me sick for like a day. And I was, what am I doing?
That's your son.
It's my child. This episode, man.
We're just going to have interruptions. She's just going to call and yell at her son.
Put him on.
He should know.
Okay.
He should know.
He knows. See how quiet he is now?
He's not going to answer.
Dylan Ryan,
Austin, Godfrey.
I will Discord you.
Oh, you're going to shut him off?
No, he's on this Discord thing. It's a
Twitch thing.
No, it's its own thing.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. I don't game. I don't
heard of it, but
You haven't done
it? I only know because of COVID, because a bunch of the girls from work are like, get on it. Because you can play video games together.
That's probably my Sam does them on his PC, which is like
okay. That's what
like set up right now.
That's what her husband does, or her son does. He has got his desktop computer and he plays. On it.
I'll be quiet.
I
wrote, dude, I'm recording. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, crap.
Well, he watched us come in here. Like, we don't just hang out in here for our own.
Do you have the setup just at Mel's or at both of yours?
Just at Mel's.
And then you do the lives at yours.
Yeah, we kind of share.
We try to keep it even.
Yeah.
That way no one's just at one house.
Yeah, although I do like being here because it's out of my house.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get it.
I can't wait to move out of that house.
I don't blame you.
Okay, so
well, let's just be quiet for a second.
Okay, so we were talking about food rut. So a good way to do that, I found, was like ask on Instagram and say, like, what foods are you guys eating? This is how far out I am. Because there are ideas out there that, like, still to this day, I'm like, that's a really fucking good idea.
Never thought
Why didn't I think of that? So
that's a good idea.
That could be a tip. And then Pinterest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Literally, I just
do my whatever. Restrictions are gone. So
so you can eat whatever.
I just haven't ventured into veggies yet because I'm scared.
They're very fibrous.
Yeah.
So you have to chew them very, very, very well to get them down. And even sometimes it's kind of like, I mean, I'm being honest.
No, that's good. That's good. I had a couple, I'm trying to think of what they were, but I had a few like steamed veggies and they went okay. I just had a very small amount. And I'm in like some Facebook groups and some of them are helpful and then other ones like freak you out more, you know, like, but someone said that to get up to a salad, they'd eat like a bite of a salad and then 2 bites like the next day and like work there. And I was like, kind of makes sense that like your intestines would be like almost waking up to that amount of fiber.
I like that.
Well, and I mean, personally, when I was going through it, I didn't eat any vegetables because I wanted to make sure that I was hitting my protein goal. And when you're having salad, like the lettuce is taking up room and like you don't have a whole lot of room to spare. And so you got to think like, okay, well, if you're looking at like a jar and you're filling it up, like you want to make sure, and you have to get protein.
Yeah.
What ratio are you going to make sure that you get all that protein? And so I chose not to focus on vegetables.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hit my protein goal. And
which I think, oh, sorry.
No, please.
I was going to say what Dr. Patterson did with me was like, put the veggie on the plate and just slowly eat your protein. And once it's done, then start eating your veggie. Because like
if you have room.
No, not even if you have room,
really?
just save the time because the point is that you still need the nutrients.
Well, yeah.
Is the point. I mean, that's how you got high cholesterol, girlfriend. You're telling everybody to just do that, but maybe like you had meat and cheese.
It was like because
2 or 3 months.
A lot of cheese.
But
I was having like
a lot of cheese.
Yeah. So careful of your
cheese. So that's the deal is like, she said, just to keep it on your plate and eventually you'll eat it. Like that's the deal. Like
that makes sense.
You need it. So, and just have whatever veggie that you can have that's kind of cold. Like that's the deal. Like just don't try to saute something because you're gonna eat that in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be cold.
So,
whatever you can, that we just have some sort of veggie. That way you're like how that person that was doing can like slowly like take it in and then as well.
No, that makes a lot of sense to do it that way. I mean,
and if you incorporated like a bite, you're still getting, you know,
you're still getting some.
Yeah.
So
which is why I like the
kind of like
though, because I'm like not taking stomach protein space.
Oh my god.
When I did that, I was like, it's like T-Rex arms. Like
I've got a big head, little arms. If you guys could see this right now.
Oh my gosh.
You would think she's the one that smokes, guys. You would think.
No. I'm just in a weird fucking mood today, and this is what you get.
Hey guys, so always have your protein before you record an episode because that's what's happening right now.
I'm a little stupid right now, and then that escalates into extreme silliness.
Yeah. I did one day not eat like from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I should not have done it. Like the worst person ever, I know. But I just like didn't think about it all day. And I was like so busy, like I couldn't believe it because at 11 p.m. I got real dizzy and I was like,
oh no.
And because it's like for the first time in my life, I don't think about food. Like, you know, so I set alarms like you suggested, and, you know, and that helps. That's the only way I can eat. I mean, not the only way, but you know.
What was the first thing you did eat? That was your solids.
Oh, I had cottage cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And someone posted cottage cheese with horseradish in it. And it's like the most delicious thing if you like horseradish.
Oh,
my God.
All together.
Pickled beets.
It's a lot of flavors, but like when you haven't had flavors and you want that, like I love Indian food and like all kinds of, you know, we love spices of different kinds. So that was like really fun.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like it. I'd like to try it.
I'm gonna try that.
I mean,
because I
it.
love horseradish. Like
you
that,
love
that
horseradish
heat in your nose, and like you're like, that was a good one. Like wasabi and I just found out last night, I know, random, that the yellow mustard from Chinese restaurants is actually regular mustard with horseradish.
That's hilarious.
And wasabi is actually horseradish, right? Isn't that like it's
like a form of horseradish?
I think it's part of the family.
It's okay. It's the family.
We heard that like local place, like smaller places sometimes just replace it with horseradish. But
I didn't know that.
I mean, I know wasabi is wasabi, but like,
crazy.
Like around here, it's like putting like generic ketchup in the Heinz bottle.
Oh, I'd be mad.
I'd be mad.
People will be like, "This is fake."
Yeah, you can tell the difference between those two. It's a hell of a difference. That's for sure.
I can't.
But yeah, I did that. I did cottage cheese a lot, which is more of a pureed, but it was like, I ate that a lot the first week, and then of pureed. But my program also didn't do a like pre-diet. I did like 1 day of light food, and then I did 2 weeks of clear liquids with no protein drinks, which was very, very hard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
2 weeks of clear?
Yes.
That's intense.
Isn't that intense? Like I could have the protein clear water, but like that was it. And so I remember calling and I was like, I'm getting 175 calories and that's not enough.
Yeah, that's just not enough.
And they were like, you're going to use your fat storage right now and it's okay. And I was like, okay. Like, and only probably twice during the whole time did I feel it all like that. Most of the time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, most of the time I really did feel fine, but I was like, I want.
It's more of a mental thing.
Protein cake.
Yeah. Well, because like, I mean, when we are as big as we were, like you have storage, like you have reserves. They're there for a reason. That's what you start burning on.
I'm still shocked.
But that's insane. We haven't heard anybody that's done.
I know, and that's what I was like. It's weird. It is like a big program in our area too, so it's not like it's like some random one. But
it's so crazy.
So how much weight did you lose in that?
So I lost 9 the first week, and then I lost, I think, 8 the second, I believe.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a decent loss.
Yeah. And I was like, so that was something that I've been coming to terms with is like I am like not celebrating my loss as much, and I think it's because I'm like, well, you had the surgery, like you better have lost like 50 pounds. But it's like, no, like you still had. So I'm doing therapy, and she's like, what are you doing every day? Like you are doing all these steps to make sure that you're doing this right, and and so I'm trying to like celebrate the wins more than like just be like, Devin, of course you better have, like,
Yes. Yeah. Talk nice to yourself.
Yeah. So
you're doing awesome.
Yeah. So I think like the therapy key is huge, and I've been doing like there's a workbook for like overeaters.
Oh yeah, you posted it, didn't you?
No, that was someone else in the challenge posted the same one. I have that exact one.
Awesome. Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. And I think
they
like
look really cool.
It's easy right now to not eat. It's easy to restrict, like, to follow the program right now is very easy. And I know that will change. So I'm trying really hard to work on the head stuff that like got me here. And yeah.
Is your therapist a bariatric therapist, or
she is not?
Okay.
I actually started with her last year, 2020, like in January. I started with her just to deal with like general like anxiety, depression. And it's interesting because my biggest thing the last few years is like motivation for anything was so low. My energy to like get off the couch, it was so hard. And I felt there was a magnet pulling me right back to my couch. Like I would like be trying to do the dishes and I was getting pulled back.
Okay. That's a really good analogy.
It is. I like that.
And then I had therapy. She helped me some, but like it was still really hard. And I felt like I just kind of lost myself the last few years. And then this surgery, I'm not kidding you, like 2 weeks, my energy was ridiculous. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool. So like Sam would be like, "You're not on the couch when I came home. Like this is really weird." Like he was like, I was like, I know. Like I don't want to take a nap today during like Evelyn's nap time. Like, yeah.
That's
so it's
awesome.
like really, that's my favorite part about it. For sure.
Is the energy.
Yeah. And so I was like trying to find some hobbies to fill my time. So I started gardening, and I have like 2 little raised gardens. I took a little garden class.
Oh,
I got obsessed with houseplants. So like I went from like 0 before surgery to like 30.
It's awesome though. They're fun. They're so fun.
Just something to like put yourself into that.
Is definitely. Yeah.
So that's something new after surgery, like getting a new hobby.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know they actually had classes on gardening.
It's kind of crazy. There's like classes for everything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
People don't realize it.
The master gardeners, have you ever heard of that? It might just be a local thing. Penn State, the college has like a program, and that's who their master gardeners teach like non-gardeners like myself how to garden. And that's
there's
very cool.
Remember Dr. Dovek was talking about the master's program?
Yeah.
So like that's what it is that
master
like everybody can master class. So
Uh-huh.
anybody can go in, and if they're an expert can teach, and then so like one's on gardening.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like sciencey. It can just gardening actually is pretty sciencey, but it really is. After like learning from Eric, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy that all the stuff that can like goes into it. But like it could be anything. Like you can learn how to like use carpentry. Like you can learn how to build stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you were talking about Sam, your husband.
Yeah.
And so how has your relationship changed since surgery? Has it changed?
It's changed in a few ways. He's definitely struggling with like, he has always been the cook. So, and he loves, like, we're big foodies. And like, we took a trip to New York City, and we were like, we called it a foodcation. And we had a food budget that was like $2,000 that we saved like all year just so that we could like go try
all the places.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like something that we love to do together. And he loves to learn to cook different things, and then I eat them and tell him how good they are. So anyway, he's like struggling because he's like, that's like a big part of like our relationship is like, you know, sitting down and eating and enjoying food. I help him cook it. So he was like talking about that the other night. And I said, but this isn't forever though. Like you can't really make like a dish for like me, you know, this is just a few more months and I mean, he probably could make things, but he doesn't want to be like low carb yet. So, the amount, I just feel like it's silly. I'm like, I'll just have a salami and cheese roll.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if depending on what he cooks, it's probably delicious. It sounds like he's a good cook, like, and you can just have like a corner of it, like you know,
leftovers for days.
Getting there.
Yeah. I feel like once you get out of the pureed and pureed and soft food stage, eventually I got there. That becomes more normal. Like you start to be able to eat those things again. You're just eating them in a different way. And I kind of feel like, you know, he's missing kind of that connection that you guys got when you were eating food together. But you don't have to eat in order for you guys to have a conversation.
Well, you can still try stuff too. Like, and that's, Eric's the same way. I feel because it's weird. We stop like going to restaurants because we're like, what's the point? Even though we love trying new places all the time. So it's just like once you get out of, I would say like 6 month stage, you can kind of like go out to the restaurants and just try something together. Like just order. You guys order one thing and you guys just try it together.
Or appetizers are really nice because you can order several of them and then you don't feel bad for like only eating a quarter of it. And you can try a bunch of different things and see if it sits well with you, if it doesn't, like because you really never know. what
we got, like when we would go to Indian, we would get our favorites and then one other meal so that like we could try something really weird that we would never like risk.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So now I was like, well, we could get one that we love and then something weird, I'm probably not going to have as much.
You just have to adjust it and make it work for you guys. Cause like, it sounds like that's a big deal in your relationship of him like connecting with you through food. And it's going to be hard because I mean, you were looking at food all day long, but as long as it's not like him for serving you like French bread, then I think
exactly.
We'll be okay.
And like last night he made a homemade like gorgonzola Alfredo sauce. And like I tried that. And if I was being like brave enough, I could have had like zoodles. But I just haven't done zoodles yet. But so he had it over penne and I just like tried the sauce and it was great. But it's like that's definitely how he shows his love, like, daily. So I do.
So with the Alfredo, you can definitely cook some chicken, put it over the chicken, and that can be your like
meal
base of it. Or when you're later on, do some broccoli, chicken, and then the Alfredo over the top of it.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. So you can kind of make it work. So like he can make that sauce, which by the way, I need some sent here so I can try that because
that sounds delicious.
Alfredo, gorgonzola.
Yes.
Smashed potatoes in the air fryer with gorgonzola melted over the top of them.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking fantastic.
Amazing.
She doesn't like gorgonzola.
I like a light of it. I like light it. I just don't like a lot of it.
And I the more that I can have.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
All of it. He makes a Cajun gorgonzola pasta that like I'm obsessed with. So I'm gonna have to have him make that with the chicken and I'll just not have the pasta.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then you can like ration it out for the week for your lunches. And you just, because I always cook chicken thighs in the crock pot and then it's just there. So then I can throw a sauce over the top of it and just heat it up. And it's an easy, quick lunch or dinner or whatever.
If you have different sauces, then it feels like you're having different meals.
You guys are so smart.
Gotta have tricks of the trade because it's gonna get boring. Like then you'll have a stage where you effing hate food.
Yes.
You'll be like, I don't want to look at it. Don't bring it to me. I don't care about it.
Yeah. And that's what like I've kind of been the last week. I've been like, I don't want to eat. I don't care to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I really got to start mixing it up because I'm like in a spot where I just am like, there is no point. But I mean, I know there is.
There's definitely a point to eating.
It's just not as like, it's not as mind consuming and exciting, like and that's the first 2 weeks I was like mourning my relationship with food. And like I knew it was going to happen, but that first 2 weeks was definitely that. Like I was like, oh, my friends were having like people over and I was like, but then like 2 weeks, and it really was only 2 weeks of that. And then like I went to my friends and we had a cookout and I was still on like the soft food. So I just had like half of the ground turkey cheeseburger and it was amazing.
Great.
Totally normal.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like you should talk with Sam and just be like, hey, whatever you're making for dinner, if you could like add chicken to it or, see if he can like, or maybe like you cook the chicken with him while he's cooking the other dinner. So then you guys are still like, you're getting that. You're getting that connection where you still are doing food, but you're doing it in a healthier way. Because you're helping him and then you're going to sit down and eat together. So you're having even more time together,
Yeah. I like
that. I was just thinking about that. I was like, hey, like cook a little bit extra and like add some chicken to it or add a little bit of vegetables.
Whatever protein you like. I guess it doesn't.
I just go chicken. I just go to chicken automatically, but
whatever you
pork,
like,
steak, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd be really good because then you're still
having that.
Yeah, but you're actually showing your daughter also that there's a healthier connection with food because you're not like, no, I don't even want to look at it. You're saying, okay, I'm going to take this and like, I'm going to tweak it a little bit and then it's healthy for me or it's on plan for me. I don't like to say like, healthier diet. I say on plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just what you eat. I try not to label it at all because like
just
once you label it, then those people are like, oh, she's on a diet. And it's like, no, it's just what I eat. Like,
that's true.
Because it's just what I eat. Because like,
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I'm not judging. Like, I'm not, because someone had something different. Like, so what is yours called?
What is your prescriptions?
Yeah. What do you have a name for how you eat? So like, why is it any different? It's like, this is how I eat. It's like,
this is what I eat.
Anybody else that has an allergy, it's like, they can't have peanuts. Okay, can't have peanuts. Like, it's like, I'm not having bread. Cool. Like, why is this a conversation?
I mean, that's what I told my nieces. Like when I first had surgery, I'm like, because they'd be like, and Kelly, why aren't you having ice cream? And I'm like, I don't eat ice cream. And I mean, they knew it at an early age. They were like, oh, the doctor said no.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the doctor told me no.
Yeah.
So,
well, and sometimes that helps mentally too. Like you can tell yourself that. Remember, doctor says no.
Doctor said no. Like with anything really.
Absolutely. Like you can make all your choices around that.
True.
Blame it on your doctor.
It has been like a big encouragement to walk. Cause like I said, I never would walk. And I'm like, my doctor said I have to walk. So like, it is important.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that. I love that you are hitting those non-scale victories early. Like you're recognizing them early.
Yeah. Do you have any like fun ones that you've come across yet?
Oh my gosh. My favorite is that this ring, they can't see it. My wedding ring fits like great now. It used to be so tight.
Oh, look at that.
I stopped wearing it and so I didn't expect that so soon. It was like after a month. And now it's like almost not too loose, but it's like
it looks like it's getting there.
Yeah, I would say for anybody that's not list the ones of the people that are watching. So it's her wedding ring, and it like comes right off. Like it's
it's like
you're gonna have to size down soon.
Yeah.
So
or cool. They have sizers on Amazon, and they're like little spirals.
Oh, okay. I saw like little tubes.
Yeah, so they have the tubes, but then they also have like spirals that you kind of like twist onto the back of it, and it holds it on better.
Oh,
yeah. Because when I had the sizers, I would like pick at it and move it, and then it would bust, and
then it wouldn't work anymore.
But it doesn't matter. You just threw in the whole.
Well, that's because my hands were like the heaviest. Like my face and my hands have shrunk, and
the most.
Yeah, and like I had very significant like lines on my neck. I'm a very visual person. I'm sorry, podcast listeners.
Well, you guys get the video eventually.
And the patrons get it right away.
Yes.
Yep. Patrons get the video.
Yeah. And
go to patreon.com/OSLP.
Anything over $10 gets a video. There you go. All done.
We plugged it. It's fine.
It's great. It's great. I love being a patron. And I get notified via email when there's new stuff.
Like, that's awesome. Yep.
Yeah. I saw your new Regain one and I was like, oh.
Yes. That's an important one.
Yeah. And I don't know. So, and I feel like, so my neck is like grown like 12 inches, maybe 2, but in like just 10 weeks, it's like I got my neck back. I got my hands back. Because I love fun like fashion rings or whatever they're called,
cool.
What's that? Like,
blingy rings, like the big,
My mom used to always call them fashion rings.
Fashion.
That's adorable.
But I was like the XL ones at Old Navy were too tight. It was very sad. So now I'm like, oh, I could like wear rings again. Yeah.
Nice. Yay. Is there anything you're looking forward to?
One of my goals for the summer is to go horseback riding.
Yay!
Yeah, because I used to do that like in high school, not a lot, but I loved it. And we recently wanted to go to Gettysburg and go on a horseback tour, but it's like they have a weight limit, and I can't remember if I was at it or I was at 238 at my heaviest. I can't remember if it was like 215 or if it was 250. It wasn't a really high weight one, but I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like, and I didn't want to get on a horse like close to my weight limit and hurt him.
Right. Yeah, no, I feel you.
So anyway, I said that like I want to go to Gettysburg and do the horse tour. So
that's exciting.
That's a fun one.
When you go, you better take some pictures.
Yeah.
And tag us.
Yes. You want to see that.
That sounds like a blast.
Yes.
And I like the fact that it's like it's an activity.
Yeah. It's outside. It's not like, oh, I want to get into this outfit, which is still right.
Which I have tons of, but
yeah.
That's
you like have them all lined up.
Yeah, I have. Well, and I stopped like buying clothes, which I don't recommend to anyone, like accept your size. I feel like,
right.
You know, like wear what you're comfortable in right then, you know, but I forced myself to wear like a smaller size. So I'm just getting into that now. So I haven't really had to buy too much clothes yet. But it's fun to get to wear like clothes that have been way too tight for.
And thrift stores, guys.
Thrift stores
where it's at when you're like losing a lot at a time, and you're down 52 pounds. So like you've had to have dropped like 3 or 4 sizes by now.
Yeah.
So
that's nuts.
Yeah, I was baggy for a while.
Yeah, that's I was wearing scrubs because I got pulled to the floor for the COVID floor, so I had to like buy some scrubs at my heaviest, and so they were like 2X's, and in scrub size is like a big deal when you go up or down a size. And I was wearing them the other day, and that looked hilarious. I looked like a 12-year-old child in like an adult outfit. I was like,
nice.
Okay, size.
So that's funny.
Okay, now I kind of want to see those.
Yeah. I think we need to see them.
Seriously.
Yeah, I might have a snap.
It sounds like you are doing all the right things.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like you're really focusing on healing and moving forward and making the right choices. And I think that's great.
Yeah. Like it's wonderful to hear someone that's in the process and really like doing the things.
Yes.
Cause like that's one of the ways that we can like stop the stigma around it, is showing people like, hey, no, the people do make it. Like, they only hear the horror stories, and it's like, no,
me. That was, I was like, never would I do that. And then I was like, wait, this is awesome. Like, this is life-changing.
It is life-changing.
Yeah, you get your life back. You get a reset button. That's what I told my husband all the time. Like, I just want a reset button, because I was not raised with any of the right like tools. I didn't have the right tools. I didn't know about nutrition. I didn't know that this was hurting me, like actually hurting me, like
actually killing you.
You're literally slowly killing yourself, and you hear that and you're like, whatever. And then when you're older, you're like, oh no, that's
oh my god,
really hurting me. Like I can't sleep right now. I'm having chest pains, like whatever the deal is for whoever, like
back pain, leg pain.
And that's, I was like, I'm 29 and I have back pain and I'm like winded going up a flight of steps. Like I'm 29. I've got a lot more living to do, you know? And
and you have a daughter.
Yeah.
That you want to give a positive
run at the playground and not be like, you go ahead.
Right.
I want to get in those tubes. I remember that was a big deal for me. I was like, I want to be able to fit in the tubes and not have to worry about
the slide.
Stuck.
Oh no, like in McDonald's, the tubes. Okay. I was thinking the tube slides.
Oh, I mean, those counted too.
Because I went down that.
I
went down that.
Evelyn got stuck in the Chick-fil-A one, and I had to send like a 5-year-old up there, and it was very like, I was putting a lot of faith in this 5-year-old.
Oh, right.
Wow. I picked the good one.
That's so
like, she might yell at you, but just get her down.
Tell her mom wants her now.
I think that might be why I like water slides so much. Because like I'd be so scared to get stuck. So now I'm like, let's go. Those are like
do them 20 times.
That's awesome.
I was really excited, like being in Disney World and Universal, like being able to like, because there's sometimes where they will pull out your group if they have which I find very disrespectful, and they will make you check to see if you fit in the ride.
So I need more context.
So essentially, like you're waiting in this long line.
Okay.
And there's people that will look at the line and they will see like a larger person, and they'll pull your group to the side and make you check to make sure that it's going to close.
Yeah.
So in front of this long line, you're having to be able to like be checked to see if it fits down over the top of you. And the fact that like I never once had to worry about me being checked. Was very, I mean, the person with us, one of the people, he got pulled aside, and I could tell that it was like, and
that's
like
just mortifying.
It's mortifying for the person. Like, There was one that they couldn't ride because he couldn't fit.
That's what I was gonna say, is like, I understand it, because what's gonna happen is that then they're gonna be on the ride and they can't fit. And is that gonna be more mortifying than to be in the line?
I was with someone when that happened.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the thing and it wouldn't click. And he was like, he talks about it. He'll be like, that's the moment I realized that I needed to, he lost like 100 pounds with keto, but
nice.
Good for him.
It happened to my brother too. It's like, and to Des, that was one. To
Des, woke up like Des.
It literally woke her up though, because that's the deal. Is like, oh, you realize how big you actually are, because like your brain shuts off and stops like computing how big you are.
It really does.
It's like when you put that on, you're like, oh no,
shit.
Play.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here.
It
I'm
is
here
such
right
a
now.
mind fuck, because you're like, you have no idea how heavy you are. And then you lose all this weight really fast and you have no idea how skinny you are. And like, that's where I'm at. Like, I just realized how heavy I was. I feel like I knew, but like, and I knew I needed surgery, but I still didn't know how heavy I was. And now I don't know where I'm at yet. And like, Sam will be like, you look great. Like, and I'm like, no, that you don't need to say that. Like,
no, let him say it. I'm gonna say it all the time.
Accept the compliments. So when he says it, just automatically start saying thank you. I appreciate it. Say something to respond that shows them that you appreciate that they're noticing.
Because I do. And it does mean something, because I'm like, okay, it's helping me internalize it. That's the outside input.
And the moment that you say thank you back, or you acknowledge that he sees it in you, you start to believe it. Yeah. Because you're accepting, you're saying, oh, thank you for acknowledging that I'm working really hard. Yeah. Essentially.
It's the positive reinforcement for yourself.
Correct.
Yeah. So just saying that thank you back, it's going to go a long way.
Just try a couple times.
Accepting it.
Accepting it. Because you are in
it's very hard.
You're in this weird limbo area. And it's going to be like that for at least till you hit your 1 year.
Yeah. And limbos suck.
And
they really
sometimes up to your 2 year, because Kelly was up to her 2 year, just kind of limbo. And you're kind of still in limbo. So, I mean,
my whole life is one big limbo.
So, I mean, you just don't know. So, it's like, you don't know what's going to happen from a year from now to 2 years from now. So, it's like, just take all the positivities you can, because you don't know what's going to happen down the road. So,
I would definitely, I think you're doing all the right steps though.
Yeah.
So be proud of where you're at, because you're handling it very well. So
thank you, ladies.
We see the hard work.
I do think like I feel like it's so helpful to have like you guys. I know I've said that a million times, but like it really is like to have people and your interviews with like other people and all these tips and the Facebook groups and Instagram, like Mel, you've talked about how it didn't really exist, even 5 or 6 years ago. And like I think about my aunt in the 80s, like I can't imagine. And just having all this wealth of knowledge helps so much. And like knowing what steps you should do help you to do them. Because I'm a nurse and I knew how to, like, you're supposed to eat and you're supposed to, like I taught nutrition to people, and then I couldn't do it. And it was like really infuriating. So I feel like it's like a reset where I can do these things now. So
you can now, your brain is now wrapping around it, and then you're physically putting it into action. You're not just talking about it. And I think that's the biggest thing about weight loss surgery for me was I always talked about it, but I never put it into action. And the surgery forces you to put it into action, because you can't not.
No other option.
You can't deviate.
It's done.
Yeah. Like once that stomach is out of you, like you have no other option but to follow the plan I mean,
you do for the first while. You have to.
That's what I feel like it gives you enough time to like break those habits. Like it's a hard reset, and it's helping you like reform your habits, which is like such a awesome opportunity.
Yes.
So what would be the one thing that you want to tell our followers and viewers before you go?
I think the one thing two things I'd say. I'm already breaking this rule. First off, I'd say don't be afraid to call your doctor, or like even your on-call. Like as a nurse, think you can bother them, who cares? Sorry, Dr. Novak and Dr. like any doctor listening to this, you might hate me. But like that's what they're there for. And my surgery group gave me a card that said like, if you're having nausea, this, and real big, it said, we want to know. And it was like really reassuring. And I called them like 4 or 5 times during that first month, anytime that I was like at the point of like freaking out, you know? And I know that some people are hesitant about that.
Yeah.
Because they really are. They're there to help you. And every program is different. So even when you reach out to like a Facebook group, like at the end of the day, especially in that beginning period, I think it's really important to know that. And you paid them a lot of money, so it's fine. And they get paid well. Like,
well, that's what they're there for. Yeah. That's one of the benefits of doing it in the US, I think, is the aftercare.
Yeah.
Like, because Melanie gives me crap. She's like, you make Mexico sound. I'm like,
to specify.
Yeah. So I'm specifying.
Yeah. Because the deal is like, it's not just US, because like in Europe they have great aftercare. Australia has great aftercare.
Yes.
Canada has good aftercare.
Having
it's just
from
if you
your
go
location.
Yeah, it's medical tourism.
Yes. Oops, cutting out. Are you there? Hello.
Are we frozen?
There we go.
Oh, there you are.
We're back. Okay.
You said it's medical tourism.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it? So
okay. Yeah. I think that I'm just thinking like the aftercare. That's what's so important. Is
having access to like local aftercare is
correct.
Huge.
Or just having somewhere to go.
Phone.
Like email, phone, Zoom, like something to be like, hey, is this normal? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a lot of my appointments, even though I am only 45 minutes, but because of COVID, they were Zoom and I could show them like my stomach on the picture and all of that stuff. And so still like, you know, just as beneficial.
Good.
But and then I would also say, I would say to like do your research and make sure that you do have like try and get into the community like online, like whether it's Facebook or Instagram or like your support group through your hospital too, because I think that's been the biggest part. Is I looked at research articles and all that before surgery to make sure this is what I wanted to do, but after that it's like the patient experience is what you need. The tips of like making a protein salad, no veggies needed, that is like the stuff you need. So,
yes.
I love it.
I think that's it.
I love it.
Well, thank you for
I'm
coming
so excited.
Thank you guys. I think the whole time I just said, "Oh, that's a good point. Oh, that's a good idea."
You have some great information for others, and like we love that you had the bypass, and so you have a different view than us because we're sleeve.
Yeah,
and so we like to showcase all bariatric patients, no matter what surgery you've had. So we're excited. We're excited
to watch where you go, and we get to follow you. So we definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing your story, because like not everybody likes to do that. They are shy and nervous. So we definitely appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. Well, everybody, that was Devin. We're so excited. We cannot wait for you guys to like hear this episode because it's gonna be so good.
Well, they're hearing it right now, Kelly.
I know, but I'm like in right now, like, well, we're not done recording. I'm just saying, this is the goofiness. Go on. Exit us out, Mel. Yeah.
Right,
what
guys.
The fuck, Mel?
So that was Devin. She's fucking awesome. She's one of our patrons. I learned a lot from her.
Yes.
Like, she probably doesn't believe it, but like a lot of the things that she was saying, I can really relate to. And I think you guys can too. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys wanted to watch this, do number 2. I can go on to our patreon.com/OSLP, sign up for anything that's over $10, and then you'll get all the videos that we produce.
Yes.
And that goes, like I said, goes right back into the podcast. And then we also have our website. So
we have a .com, everybody.
That's right. Kelly got us a .com.
Yeah. RCLifepodcast.com.
Yeah. And you should go check it out. Kelly's been working on it. It looks beautiful.
Well,
we have more to come. So let them just stew on the more to come.
Yeah.
But
we have a lot coming.
So it looks good now. Just think it's going to be even better later. Yeah. And we have merch there. So go buy some merch and represent your girl.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we love you guys. And we will see you
next time. Bye.